It's been a day today, and hi everyone who's on the stream. It's been a day today, y'all, but hi, we're here. I hope you all are doing well today. Y'all, it's just gonna be a normal show today. We got some news topics, and then later on in the show, like the second hour, I saw a video of this girl who's like 30 and single and childless, and she was crying online, y'all. So I want to talk about her and her situation and just talk about being single, and like getting over it, like you know what I mean, dealing with your singleness. I don't know what it's y'all. It's kind of like I don't know. Shout out to our sponsors at Previous Stone Chris, Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Vodka, Incline Tax Services, y'all. Shout out to all of our sponsors. We're gonna go into a quick commercial break, you guys, and then y'all heard kind of like a little preview. This is my song. I love Hot Boys by Missy Elliott, specifically the remix. So we're gonna get back into that, y'all. And it's your girl Whitney D on 101 TK Radio, y'all. We get into it. TKO Radio. Hi. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Hi, you guys. It's your girl, Whitney D. Shout out to me. Shout out to our sponsors, Previous Stonecrest, Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Lock, and Incline Tech Services, you guys. Can y'all hear me? Uh, okay. Let me make sure I speak up a little bit. I'm trying to be all cute and speak low, but anyway, y'all, let's get into a little newsiana, y'all. It was a crazy day today in Georgia, as protesters were arrested this morning for protesting the future site where the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center will be held. Now, just for a little background information, if y'all recall, a couple months ago, we reported how they're building like this police training facility that's going to have all types of little things for the police to train and stuff like that. Excuse me. And several people of the community have protested this site, saying that it's going to be a bad look, not a bad look, but it's going to be bad for the residents because with that police like training center, people won't feel safe, people won't feel comfortable moving to the neighborhood and coming to the neighborhood. And so the residents pretty much had their reservations about this development. Well, y'all, today there was a protest, and the people who were arrested, because they were arrested, y'all, have been identified. Now, 5 people chained themselves to the equipment that was on the construction site, y'all, and they delivered what was called the People Stop Work Order in order to stop them from building, pretty much. So the group consisted of 2 ministers and a couple of people of the same faith and church group. And the police have identified them as 28-year-old Lalita Martin, 25-year-old Timothy Sullivan, and Timothy Sullivan is from Burlington, Massachusetts. So he's not even from Georgia or residing in Georgia, I'll say. We got a 25-year-old Ayola Whitworth, 61-year-old David Dunn, and 65-year-old Jeffrey Jones. All of these people have been charged with trespassing and obstruction. And Lalita Martin, she faces additional charges of reckless conduct. Now, one thing about protesters, y'all, protesting works, right? But when you start chaining yourself up, and I don't know if y'all remember, but I want to say it was in Germany. Some climate change protesters were gluing their hands, literally not even gluing, but cementing their hands to the ground. So much so that they have to get drilled out. When you take drastic measures like that, it's like you're dedicated. You're really dedicated. And these people really do not want this police site. But you got to think about it as far as the protesters go. You have to think about it. These people have already invested in this, right? They've already bought the lot, the land, and it's quite a few acres, right? They've already bought that. They've already invested in construction. They've already put all of these things in place. So it's just like, I don't blame y'all for protesting, but it's kind of like realistically, y'all, it looks like it's gonna happen. And I don't know. I pray for the people in that community that that this can come to like a middle ground. They can find a middle ground. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, I'm not sure. Y'all know I'm not from here, so I'm sorry. But I don't know, y'all. Georgia is a crazy place. Um, now listen, I don't know what's going on with the people of Georgia, but Fulton County, excuse me, commissioner is being publicly condemned for having sex with a subordinate in her office. Like, come on now. So, um, Natalie Hall, y'all, is pretty much being condemned for having sex, like I said, with a subordinate in her office. Now, she admitted to it in federal court, but the commissioner, Marvin Eric Arrington Jr., says that he still thought it was inappropriate and that it should be discussed publicly because, no, it was inappropriate for it to be discussed publicly because it's a personal matter that's pending litigation. Arlington says, we never discuss litigation nor personal matters on public agenda. This is a first. Um, the thing about this is, he's acting as if things don't happen, right? I can guarantee you this isn't the first, nor will it be the last time something of the sort happens. You know what I'm saying? With a commissioner or anybody else. I'm just like, wow. How do y'all feel? Call in 678-439-7419. Again, the number is 678-439-7419. Now, one of the attorneys within Fulton County says that it's legal to discuss all this information publicly. And I would imagine so it's legal to discuss it publicly. No, there's no gag order that I can see, right? So it's just kind of like you can't say you can't talk about this stuff publicly. I mean, it's shameful, right? It's completely shameful. She's sitting up here looking crazy. But it's absolutely quite it's I just got shocked, right? I'm like, that's interesting, but I'm not shocked that it's going down because these people now we'll say this to get down in the office is crazy because like y'all can easily meet up somewhere outside of somewhere, not not in the office, but when times call, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you must really, you must really couldn't contain yourself if you couldn't hold off for them. Now, y'all, let's talk about this AI thing, right? You know what? Let's not. We're gonna take a quick break, y'all. I'm gonna, cleanse y'all palate a little bit with a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the AI situation and some more stuff, y'all. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TKL Radio. I want to shout out our sponsors: Previous Stonecrest Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Pocket, and Incline Tax Services, y'all. Shout out to our sponsors for this music selection, y'all. We will be back to get into it. Oh. Now, excuse me. Make sure I can make sure y'all can hear me. I'm trying to speak up, y'all, but your girl don't want to shout. But y'all, okay, so this is we're gonna get to the AI later, but y'all, let's get into Danny Masterson, y'all. Let's get into Danny Masterson. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who that is, Danny Masterson was one of the men from Kelp. No. I'm not even going to say what his name was on the show, but y'all, Danny Masterson was on that 70s show, right? Well, he has been sentenced. Danny Masterson has been sentenced, y'all, to 30 years in prison, 30 years to life. 30 years to life in regards to rape, two rape convictions that he had. And if y'all recall, Danny Masterson, he has had a time in court, y'all. So Masterson was first arrested back in 2020, you guys. And back in 2020, he was charged with raping 3 women. Well, these are from separate incidents, right? From 2001 and 2003. So he had one rape trial in October 2022, but that trial, the first trial, resulted in a mistrial, right? And for those of y'all who don't know, and for those who do, a mistrial doesn't mean you are declared innocent or guilty. It just pretty much means that that trial didn't come to any conclusion and there was no solid verdict, so you can be retried for that crime, that alleged crime, and so forth. And so that is exactly what happened. There was a mistrial and he was retried again. And the second trial, Danny Masterson was found guilty on 2 counts of rape. If y'all recall, there were three cases, but he was charged for 2 counts of rape. But they didn't reach a unanimous decision on the 3rd count in the follow-up trial. And so, y'all, it has now been been judged, and he's been brought to justice, y'all. And a lot of the things that's going on within this trial, they're saying that Danny Masterson used his power or privilege as a Scientologist and an actor to take advantage of these women. And this is just what's been brought up during this trial, alleging that prosecutors have alleged that he used his position within the Church of Scientology to pretty much take advantage of these women, and has avoided the consequences of his actions for decades. Y'all, this is 20 years, you know what I'm saying? 20 years old. And prosecutors are saying that he's been using these 20 years, using Scientology to cover it up for 20 years. And the women claim that they were hesitant and scared to say anything, and they were scared to go to the police because of the Church of Scientology. And the women testified that they reported Masterson to the Church of Scientology, but they were ultimately told that they were lying and that didn't happen, and all of the things. So if y'all recall, back in May 31st of this year, that's when Danny Masterson was found guilty, and now he has been sentenced to 30 years to life. WTF. Y'all call in 678-439-7419. Now, for those of you who don't know, Danny Masterson is married to Bayou Phillips, right? She's an actress and a Nepo baby of sorts, and all the things. And it's being reported that she was visibly upset during the sentencing, and she has been very supportive of him throughout this trial, as one would, assume a wife would be. Well, never mind, because if well, I mean, it's hard. I'm not in that position. I haven't been put in that position to have to choose between your husband and the truth, and being supportive of your husband. But she's been supportive. So now it's just kind of like, wow, sweetie, what are you going to do now that your husband has been sentenced to 30 years? I will say I didn't expect that. I did not expect him to get 30 years to life. Um, but in light of all the things that happened, with the Me Too movement, and with not even only that, but you got trials like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, um, all of those things. They're not playing with these sexual offenders. So you know, that's keep your stuff, keep your stuff to yourself. Now, also too, while we're at it, while we're talking about legal matters, sorry, I feel like an ASMR artist. If y'all can see me on the live, let me stop playing. But anyway, it's being reported, y'all. Y'all know how Tory Lanez got sentenced 10 years. Well, now, y'all, it's being reported that Tory Lanez was offered a 4-year sentence, and he declined that and decided to take his chances at trial. And now look where he is. Y'all, this thing about them plea deals. Now, if I was put in that position, knowing that I'm not supposed to have a weapon on me, knowing that this charge, if found guilty, carries a minimum of this sentence, a maximum of this sentence, I would have just took my chances with the 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I would have took the plea deal. What would y'all have done? Call in 678-439-7419. Y'all call in 678-439-7419. If you were faced in Tory Lanez's situation, 4 years, or reject the 4 years and take your chances on 10 to 30, I think. What would you do? I would have just took the 4 years. And now look, he's sitting there for 10 years, which we don't know if he's going to serve all of that, but we shall see. Y'all want to know something that hurts my feelings? And then after I talk about this, we're going to go to a break. It hurts my feelings, y'all, that staffers from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon are claiming that it's a toxic workplace. When I tell y'all, I have, excuse me, a lineup of my favorite hosts, right? We have Graham Norton, right? Jimmy Fallon, right? And I like Stephen Colbert. But y'all, they some of my favorites. I'm sorry, y'all, they all white men, I know, but Jesus Christ, I like they shows. Oh! I know. Oh gosh, I feel so bad, but whatever. When you talk about late night, that's what I like. Monique had a great late night run. I wish it was longer. But my point, to hear that Jimmy Fallon allegedly has a hostile, toxic workplace, it literally breaks my heart because Jimmy Fallon's so sweet, and I just can't. Fun fact, y'all, I literally applied to be an internship. I applied for an internship on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Literally applied. It didn't go anywhere, but that's my point. I applied. And it saddens me, y'all. But y'all know it's a little strike going on. And during the strike, some of the former employees have filed complaints, and their staffers alleging that Jimmy Fallon has erotic behavior and outbursts, and he created a toxic work environment. Um, Now there are some um, some employees who have shared with the Rolling Stone in an article that that the Rolling Stone article misrepresents their experiences in the same workplace. Now that's what I will say. Like, and the same thing even goes for, remember when Ellen DeGeneres went through this? It's like, was that really the overall experience, or was that your experience? And was it Jimmy Fallon, or was it people, you know what I'm saying? I guess in power or of authority or what have you. Um, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm gonna need some solid receipts on this one. I just can't, cause I don't know nobody who ever had a bad thing to say about Jimmy Fallon. I don't know them at all. But I've never heard a bad thing said about Jimmy Fallon. And so, but um a lot of people say that as the face of this show, as the lead and stuff like that, you kind of got to be connected with everything. And I agree. I completely agree. But you guys, we're going to, oh, before we take a break, y'all, Jimmy Fallon apologized, right? He's released a statement saying, over a Zoom call, that he's sorry for possibly embarrassing them. And he says, I feel so bad I can't even tell you. And I believe it. I don't believe for a second that Jimmy Fallon is a toxic person as far as the workplace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need solid receipts. I'm gonna need a video of this erratic behavior. I'm gonna need an email. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need something. So also I need to take a break. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna get back into a few more news stories, y'all. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TK Radio. We get into it. shout out to me and shout out to you guys listening in, watching on the tubes. Shout out to our sponsors, Pretty at Stonecrest, Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Vodka, and Incline Tax Services, you guys. Shout out to all of you. All of you, shout out. Sorry, that was terrible. Muy, muy. Now, listen, y'all may not notice about me, right? But one thing about me is I love Tyler Perry. And I don't care what nobody says, period. I love me some Tyler Perry. And one thing I hate about people, black people in this case, is they always try at every point to tear Tyler Perry down when it comes to like production and costume, hair, departments and stuff like that. And so I've never heard Tyler Perry say anything, y'all, but recently, y'all, Tyler Perry was talking and he gave his opinion on people's opinion on his hair, makeup, and styling department. Take a listen to this. Let me start it over, child.
Talking about hair to me, please. I swear to you, these things I can do. I can run a company. I can build a house. I can go on stage. I do all of this stuff, right? I know what I do. I don't know how to do hair. I don't know nothing about it. So what I do is I hire people to do hair. Pay them $65 an hour. You heard that right. $65 an hour. They work 10 to 12 hours a day. You heard that right. $65 an hour is what they're paid to make sure the hair is right. Okay? That's their job. So I'm paying them to do their job, and they're doing it, right? They're doing a great job. Sometimes things slip because I'm moving a little fast, but they get it done. They get it done. So stop asking me about no damn hair. You'll talk to somebody else who got to have your hot curl. Like I'm walking around with a damn hot curler. And a male.
Now, I completely agree with Mr. Tyler Perry. Stop asking him about hair. Stop talking about hair. This man said he paid him $65 to work 10 to 12 hours a day in the hair department. And I'm sure the makeup department and clothing department, costume department and stuff like that. And so, but I will say though, what's the call it? Orlando's braids in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Shamar Moore, they wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't that bad. But I feel like, and especially in the moment, like when we watched that movie when it came out, wasn't nobody thinking about that man braids. Like y'all really be overdoing it. And it gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves. Okay. Like let off of it, please. Now there are a lot of Tyler Perry shows, like the soap opera thing that I want to get into. But I don't watch it because I don't have OWN, and I think something maybe on BT Plus or like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have any of those networks. But what I can say is, the little have and have not clips that I've seen, they have been looking good to me. You know what I'm saying? So, what was I going to say? Yeah, my point is y'all need to let up off Tyler Perry. Y'all need to let up off Tyler Perry, please, because it's getting on my nerves. Y'all call in 678-439-7419. Now, did y'all see that interview with Tyrese on The Breakfast Club talking to Envy, Charlemagne, Jess Hilarious was there. Is she like the official third host? If so, I think that's a fantastic call. I love Jess Hilarious on The Breakfast Club, so I think that's great. Anyway, so did y'all see that fiasco and debacle that was Envy and Tyrese getting into it? If you didn't see it, I'm gonna play a little bit of the clip for you so you can listen to it. Y'all, take a listen to this.
Was saying I don't. Yeah, I don't at all. Because it's like when you get drunk, do you hold your boy to what he's saying while he's drunk?
No, I never have that.
Do you hold anybody to anything that they're doing when you know that this is their usual self? They were drunk, they were out of their mind, and they end up saying and doing some shit that hurt my feelings, that was offensive, that made me feel away. But I know that characteristically, that's not who this man is.
Well, see, the difference is, I honestly don't know what site meds you were on or who you were doing that for. I don't know. I don't know.
Salty.
I don't know. I never had a conversation with you because I never wanted to see you like that. The person who spoke to me on these texts, spoke to my wife during that time at the text, I didn't like that. And I wanted to remember Tyrese as a person that was my brother to help my relationship, not the Tyrese that I was going through. So I took a step back.
So you got
until we had a
conversation
conversation
of the psych med Tyrese?
You did. That was crazy. Charlamagne told you to suck his before on that message.
Because you was talking crazy.
Whoa.
You know that. We had this conversation already.
Guys.
But he literally said, I don't remember any of that.
I don't remember what I said that made you say that,
But
or
to this
made
point,
you feel that way.
But to this point, I took a step back because I didn't know what you were going through, and I tried to talk to you, and I seen who you were, and I didn't even like who you were online. And to my point, I tried, and when I seen how you were talking this way, I said, I'm going to take a step back.
And you know when me and
How
Tyrese had a
convenient.
How convenient? Yeah, how convenient? Yeah, when the way you were talking, the way that you were,
How convenient to step back.
what you mean?
I never stepped back for me.
I mean, it's right. But I never talked to your wife in a disrespectful manner, and you talked to mine in a disrespectful manner. And I never told nobody that. Even when you were on, and you could say you were on those psych meds, and you could say that you weren't. But as a man, some of the things that you said, Tyrese, deserve me to box your mouth.
No, we
were talking because this is something that I never wanted to say. And since he wants to be, well, why envy? I'm telling him why. He said disrespectful to my wife.
What do you mean?
It's neither here nor there. To the point where my wife doesn't call you back anymore. And to the point when you started talking to psych meds, me and my wife had a conversation. She said, well, maybe Tyrese was on those medicines when he said.
Well, first of all, why is Tyrese contacting your wife? Like, I don't care how cool we are. I don't care if you helped me save my marriage. You're not about to be contacting my wife, like my wife, right? Like, unless y'all cousins or siblings, another man is not about to be contacting my wife. Like, that's weird. Sorry. But Tyrese kept going on pretty much that whole interview talking about the psych meds. And then Charlamagne and Envy were saying like, oh, you were a different person. You were and so y'all, this is around the time where Tyrese was just online talking crazy. And y'all, to me personally, I feel like his demeanor in that interview was giving I'm still on psych meds, right? Like it wasn't like this happy go lucky guy that we normally see. It was just really dark and like a dark demeanor, like a real monotone, matter of fact demeanor. And it's like, Tyrese, you can only blame them psych meds so much. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. You can only blame them psych meds so much. And I personally just don't want to hear it no more, Tyrese. But anyway, y'all, so let's talk about this AI situation real quick, y'all. Because I really want to get into this AI. Because to be honest, I don't like the direction in which society is going with this AI thing. And take a listen to this. So now y'all know AI has been eating Aubrey up. And if you don't know who Aubrey is, Aubrey Graham, Drake. They've been eating Drake up. And what I mean by that is Drake has so many AI songs. At this point, I think he got the most AI generated songs than anybody. And So somebody has created an AI generated song with Drake and The Weeknd. And y'all, this person had the nerve to submit this song to the Grammy like association, right? And pretty much it's a no. It goes along with the Grammy guidelines for submission because because it was technically written and created by a person. I guess written, you know what I'm saying? And so um this person goes by the name of Ghostwriter, and they've done several songs and stuff like that. But according to the Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr., he tells the New York Times that it's absolutely eligible because it was written by a human. However, just because the song is deemed creatively eligible, Grammy rules also require the song have general distribution, which means the broad release of a recording available nationwide via brick and mortar stores, third party online retailers, and or streaming services. I don't like this. I don't like it at all because it's just like I just don't like this whole AI thing. Like it's literally dangerous, and for artists to not win Grammys for their work, but to win Grammys. Are they even on the ballot? Like, you know what I mean? Like for this song? I don't know. I just don't like it. Now, the government as well, y'all, is pretty much trying to be rid of this whole AI thing or like protect people against it. So Google is now trying to require disclosure if AI alters the voice or imagery in political ads. Now, this is something that's not in effect yet, but it will be soon coming, that it will require political ads using AI, artificial intelligence, to be accompanied by a disclosure of, if anything within the imagery has been synthetically altered. Now, AI generated election ads on YouTube and other Google platforms, they pretty much, and this is the thing with AI generated ads and contents. You don't like, can y'all tell when you see AI generated content? Like, if I have, I don't know. But pretty much Google is saying you have to have a disclaimer somewhere somewhere on the ad letting you know this is AI generated. But my thing is this, like, are you saying it's AI generated, meaning that it's not in association with whatever political party or candidate it is referring to? Because that's also scary if you got people creating things in reference to political parties and candidates and stuff like that. Because if y'all see how some people act with politics, like it can be a lot. Now, this is going to start in mid-November, and if y'all recall, that's around the time voting season starts, election season, and it's also going to affect the ad campaigns for elections in India, South Africa, the European Union, and several other locations around the world. Now, it says, though fake images and videos and audio clips are not new in political advertising campaigns, pretty much AI is making it easier to do these things and be undetected. So I'm pretty happy, you know what I mean, about Google trying to get a hold of this AI thing. But I don't think Google needs to stop at just political ads. I think Google really needs to get a rein in on AI in general, and especially when you talk about artists like Drake. Somebody could put an AI song up, and you know what I'm saying. There should be like a watermark of sorts somewhere on the page to let you know, hey, this is AI generated. It's not really Drake. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it should just be limited to political campaigns. It should be all across the board. Right, right. Anyway, y'all, that's that on that, y'all. We're gonna get into a break, but before we get into this break, you guys, there's this video floating around on social media, right? And it's this girl crying, boo-hoo crying. I personally don't think the tears are real, but whatever, they could be. But the caption was something of the sort of she is. Let me see how I can do this. How can I do this? She's 30, unmarried, no kids, and that keeps her up at night, you guys. But she boohoo crying online about being 30, single, and childless. And I just want to talk about that for a second because I saw that and I'm like, girl, you literally need help. So when we get back, that's the topic of the night too. Get over it. You're single. So yes, you guys, tune in. We're gonna come back after this music selection. Shout out to our sponsors, Previous Stonecrest Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Vodka, and Incline Tax Services, y'all. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TK Radio. Y'all, we get into it. She's single, unwed, and childless, right? She she lonely pretty much. And I guess she feel like she is less of a woman or less of a person because she's single and by and okay, so let me tell y'all this. I can understand the aspect of, I guess, loneliness, right? Like if you just now, okay, before I get into all that, let me just also say this. I'm not someone who I don't subscribe to the idea of marriage. The concept of marriage, you know what I'm saying? The lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to that idea of of I guess legally being married, you know what I mean? Contractually. Um I don't subscribe to that notion. So being married is something that I just don't care about. So I can't relate. Kids, not something that I necessarily in my heart of hearts, it's not something that I feel as if I really want. Um, oh, so I don't have like that maternal urge, right? You know how some women literally be depressed because they can't have kids, or they be like going into debt trying to like get IVF and or surrogacy or adoption, like they doing all of these things to have kids and and all of the things. I just don't have that I just don't have that urge to be a mom. I don't have that urge to put somebody here against their will on this earth in which is terrible. Right? Like I just don't have a that need to want to bring somebody into this world. I don't know. I really don't understand women who want that so bad. But this woman crying online because she's 30 and ain't got no husband and ain't got no kids. And in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like I could feel her feeling some type of way about being single, right? Because I feel some type of way about being single. But you want to know something, sweetie? It comes a point where you have to just, you know, put your chin up and just accept what is, right? And let me just say this: there'll never come a time where I'm that down bad to the point where I'm crying online with snot running down my nose. It'll never be that bad. Girl, you should have contacted a therapist before you turned on that phone. But my point is, child, I can understand this lady feeling how she feels um about being single. But for me, and I used to feel some type of way about being single. I really did. But for me, it's like I I accepted what it was, right? Now hold on, I got a call coming in. 101 TKL Radio caller, talk to me. Exactly. Mm. Thank you, caller. Okay, y'all. So that caller said two things that stuck out to me. So the first thing that the caller said was get offline and stop looking at stuff online. But it's not always about being online. Now, me being the single girl that I am, and me being the single friend that I always am, it's not just about online. Like when you have friends who are constantly in relationships or constantly dating or in a long-term relationship, um, that's something that you see all the time, right? Like it doesn't necessarily mean you're online looking at people online. Um, you could have people in your life, close friends, who they all like they always got somebody, or they always in a relationship, or they, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not necessarily just about being online. It's also too about your surroundings. And that's why I think that it's important to just accept where you accept what is. And that brings me to number two on what the caller said. The caller said that if you want something so bad, you'll never get it, right? And I think that that's another reason why you should just accept what is. Because like you just gonna have to accept the fact that you ain't gonna never have nobody, right? Like, or you just gonna have to accept you know what I'm saying? Like, just accept the fact that you're single. Accept the fact that this is what it is. For homegirl who was crying online, girl, accept the fact that you ain't got no man and you ain't got no kids. Accept it and find something to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, find a hobby. Find some single friends. Um, like just find something to uh to get your mind off of that. But like just just accept the fact that you're gonna be a lonely spinster. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've accepted that. And that's why I'm telling her to accept it, because I've accepted. I've accepted the fact that 9 times out of 10, right? I'm never gonna be in a relationship. I've accepted that. And when I come back from the break, I'll get into a little more. But y'all, let me take a quick little break, and then we'll get back into it, y'all. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TKO Radio. Y'all, we get into it. when I have like topics for the night, I try to match the music selection to that topic. So that was so funny, y'all. But anyway, so before we went to break, I was telling y'all about my personal situations, right? With singleness. And through several hits and misses and things like that, I've just realized that I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. And I'm not saying that it's somebody who like, okay, so let me say this. Y'all know how like a couple weeks ago, or like whenever I had a show or something like that, but I was telling y'all like, oh, I'm gonna have me a bookie in the wintertime, y'all. I really feel it. I really feel it. To be honest, y'all, that was me trying to convince myself more so than me actually being honest about what I was feeling. I was trying to convince myself, oh, I'm gonna have a boo this winter. When in reality, y'all, I'm not gonna have a boo. like, and with all these failed attempts, you know, failed connections and stuff like that, I just feel like it's just not in the cards for me. And instead of trying to like get into a relationship or like find somebody, it's like I'm at the point now where I'm trying to enjoy my life, enjoy my singleness, and focus on that more so than focus on being single and focus on trying to find someone. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. Like I don't believe I don't believe there's somebody out there for everybody. But you want to know something though? That's not my point. My point is I can't believe that girl sitting up online crying. Like that's wild to me. When you could be doing something productive, like finding something you enjoy to do. But I mean, she just gonna have to accept the fact that she might just be a lonely girl, a single girl. Um, Cause for me, like I'm on these dating apps. Well, not apps, app. I'm on one dating app, and it's literally a waste of time. It's the only thing that's coming from that. It's taking up space on my phone, right? Because it's just like at this point, you guys, I'm not even joking. I'm honestly just dating for entertainment at this point. None of these matches or connections, I don't see them going anywhere. And that's another thing. I cannot find my way out of the talking stage. I cannot find my way out of the talking stage. It stays in the talking stage. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm not even trying to get out the talking stage. I'm just literally dating for entertainment, dating for conversation. You know what I'm saying? A good time. But in reality, I'm not really I just don't see it going nowhere. Right. And so I can feel her in that aspect. Cause like as a seasoned woman, you know what I mean? They talk about people when they single, right? Like you single at this age or why you single and yeah. And I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I'm gonna probably be that lady forever. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being single forever. I really am. As long as I got some money, you know what I mean? As long as I got some money, I'm okay with it. I just need some money. Give me some money. Period. Um, but hey, it is what it is, y'all. Let's take another quick little break, and then I want to get into some positive things that come from being single, right? So instead of focusing on the negative things like you being lonely, um, why don't you focus on some things, some positive things, when it comes to singleness. So we'll be right back, y'all. Enjoy this next sad selection brought to you by Previous Stonecrest, Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Vodka, and Incline Tax Services, y'all. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TGL Radio. We get into it. Y'all, shout out to Celine Dion, y'all. Pray for her, please. But this is so funny to me. I'm sorry. This is Alpha. But this is so funny. Period. Shout out to Big Celine. Y'all pray for her health for real. Celine has stiff person syndrome. And she's really going through it in life. So pray for Celine. And then too, I talk about that on the show. I talk about that on the show. I'm gonna talk about it when I. But this Celine situation got me thinking on some benefits of this. 101 TKO Radio. Hi, you guys. It's your girl Whitney D, and shout out to me. And shout out to our sponsors, Previous Stonecrest Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Vodka, and Incline Tax Services, y'all. And shout out to Celine Dion, y'all, because I was saying on the break how I would like for y'all to pray for Celine Dion because she is a victim of stiff person syndrome. Look up the technical term, but she's a victim of stiff person syndrome, y'all. So I don't. Anyway, she's going through a lot of health concerns. But whilst listening to that song, you guys, I thought about one of the pros of being. Golly. One of the pros of being single, being single, living a life of singleness. Let me say. Um, oh, let me turn it down. So, one pro of being, living a single life is the fact that you don't have to worry about losing the love of your life, right? As y'all know, Celine Dion lost her husband a couple of years ago, right? And you could tell that there was a difference or a shift in her attitude, her demeanor. You could tell she's genuinely heartbroken, right? Over losing her husband, who I think is possibly the only man she has ever been with. They got together when she was really young. Renee Charles. No, 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 not Renee Charles. I'm sorry. Renee Angelia, her husband. And she was clearly heartbroken when this man passed away. Um, but if you live a life of singleness, you ain't got to worry about losing the love of your life, the parent to your child. You don't have to worry about none of that. You you know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry, especially if you're childless, right? But like you don't have to worry about being heartbroken. Not even if they pass, but like if they leave you, right? You don't have to worry about a nasty divorce. You don't have to worry about somebody cheating on you and leaving you for dead, right? You don't have to worry about any of that. You can live a life of peaceful single bliss. You know what I mean? Those are the things. Those are some things, right? That positive benefits, positive pros of being single. Now, let me give y'all a couple of statistics before I get back into this list, right? So, y'all, there was a study done by the Pew Research Center, y'all, this year. And this study says that about 30% of American adults are single. When you think about the collective, 30% of adults being single is kind of sad because 30% ain't a lot, y'all. That's not a lot. So that means you got to dig within that 30% to try to find your little bookie. Anyway, so within that 30%, the statistics vary based on age. So half of young adults, 18 to 29, are identifying as single, right? Or not legally married. And of that group, 63, no, there are more men than women single. So 63% of that group being men are single, and the other 30, oh, no, because I got the math wrong. Okay, so 63% of men are single and 34% of women are single outside of that collective of 18 of Americans, sorry. And there are only about 20% of people within the ages of 30 to 49 who are single. Sorry. 30 to 49 who are single. And it's reported that the percentage goes up with age. So 29% of adults between the ages of 50 and 64 are single. And 33% of adults 65 and older identify as single. But the overall point of this is to say that the idea of singleness is common, right? But single, like it could be pretty much you're voluntarily single, or it could be like you're temporarily single, or like in the case with Celine Dion, you're widowed. It you know what I'm saying? It has its classifications. But the point is people are single. You know what I'm saying? And it's not uncommon, as you can see with these numbers, it's not uncommon for people of a certain age group to be single. Now, There are certain benefits to being single, y'all. Um, Now let's talk about some of these benefits. Now, this is based on a study from Psychology Today. Um, so one benefit is you have more time to use that time in any way that you want. Now, I'm a girly who enjoys me time, right? My me time is precious to me, right? And so I don't have to worry about nobody trying to go out, nobody trying to hang out, nobody trying to be up under me. You know what I'm saying? I can enjoy. And that's another thing about me being single. It's not that hard because I love being alone. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy going home to nobody there. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy the peace of my own place. Hallelujah, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I enjoy the peace of my own place and my own space. And so, that's a benefit. I can spend my time how I want to. I don't have to worry about um nurturing a relationship. I don't have to worry about, anyone else's feelings, their love languages. I don't have to worry about none of that because it's my time. Um, Number two, I can focus. Um, Now, with being in a relationship, oftentimes, and especially when, like, let's say you are like a young person in school, oftentimes you may shift your focus onto that person, and you got stuff to do. Like you have a paper to write, you got an exam to study for, you have a let's say you got a game to train for, anything like that, but you spending it with this person, right? Or like you have a job. I had a coworker, y'all, who would literally call in to be with her man. Like she was spending the night at her boyfriend's house, but she would call in the next day because he didn't live close to her job, and it's just kind of like she wanted to stay with her man. And when she was young, she's young, y'all, and so like when I was told this story, I didn't say anything, but in my head, I was like, "Girl, that man does not love you or care about you if he has you missing out on money, right? Because if this is somebody who really go to work, go to work, go to work, you know what I mean? Like, um, or like I don't know if he paid her for that day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the circumstances behind it, but my girl stayed at her man's house instead of coming to work. And I mean, I guess that's her thing. Um, Now, like I said, you don't. One benefit is you don't have to worry about getting hurt. I already said that. Another benefit, it says you're in charge of yourself. I feel that, like I said, you don't have to worry about changing. Well, I mean, always change for the better, right? But you don't have to worry about compromising to solidify a relationship. You don't have to adjust anything you have going on. You don't have to adjust your living space. You don't have to adjust your lifestyle. You don't have to worry about fitting anybody in or changing yourself to fit somebody into your life. You can just be who you are. Make positive changes to yourself that you need to make. But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to change or compromise for anybody else. You can just be you. Right? Um, Another benefit of being single is you can date openly, right? You can date openly. You can mingle with different people. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty much dating at this point for entertainment purposes, right? I'm just dating just because, but I don't really see anything happening. I don't feel a connection to anybody. It's just kind of like, let's hang out, let's chat, right? But like, I have no feelings for you. Um, and that's okay because it's just like I just don't see it happening for me. So this single life is the life that I am going to live, the life that I'm choosing to live, and it is what it is. Um, And like every now and then you want the company of somebody. You want, to go out, you want to hang out and all of these things. And that's what dating is for, right? But oh, and for guys, if that in that matter, one bonus of being single is you can keep your money. You can keep your money. You don't have to worry about taking care of nobody. You don't have to worry about spending no money. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about gifts, bills, expenses. You know what I'm saying? You're good. But what else is a benefit of the single life? I don't know. I would just say overall peace. You don't have to worry about arguing with nobody. You don't have to rack your brain around. Are they cheating on me? Have they met somebody else? You don't have to worry about if somebody acting funny with you. You don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things that come with relationships. You just live a free, simple life, right? I think the thing about being single is, I think mostly what people, like the girl who just had to hug people, right? I think mostly what it is that emotional thing that you're lacking, right? You want somebody to, or romantic, I'll say physical touch, that love language thing. Like you mostly want somebody to hold you. And I can be speaking for myself. Like you mostly want somebody to hold you and like say sweet nothings. Sweet nothings. I don't believe nothing these people say. Sweet nothings. You want the cute stuff. I think that's mostly what people who live a single lifestyle, I think mostly you looking at the cute stuff, right? And when you feel like, okay, so y'all, TMI, trigger warning. For me, I get really emotional when it's that lady time for the month. Extremely, extremely emotional. And that's mostly when I think about being single, right? But when I'm off, when that time is over, it wears off. But like for me, it's just like I just want that comfort, right? But I mean, it is what it is, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to accept it. I don't know, y'all, but child, I'm gonna go. At the end of the day, y'all, focus on yourself and find something that makes you happy and stop worrying about being single, because if you're gonna be single, like nothing you can do about it, so you may as well find something else to care about. You know what I mean? Live your life, find something you like, and move on. A word. So anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having a good night with me, y'all. Shout out to 101 TKO Radio. Follow 101 TKO Radio on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of the things. Follow me at 2_chat with me on Instagram, y'all. And we're gonna get on with this night, child. I can't breathe. Y'all have a good night. It's your girl Whitney D on 101 TKO Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy this sad selection brought to you by Previous Stone Press, Progressive Medical Center, Black Onyx Pocket, Incline Tax Services. Y'all, we're gonna close this night being depressed. I will see y'all next week, okay, y'all? Have a good night. Bye.